I once fired a $250,000 client. Now, why would I do that? That was 10% of my business at the time. This is just a few years ago. I did it because that client was not a win-win. I did not have a win-win relationship with that client. They were paying us $250,000, yes, but the time and hassle they were requiring to service them was way beyond $250,000. They were winning, we were losing. That's what I call a lose-win relationship. Enter step 7 of the 10-step turnaround, eliminate lose-wins. Stephen R. Covey has taught that every business relationship should be a win-win, and that certainly applies to clients and to team members and to business partners and to vendors. So this is what we talk about in step 7 of the 10-step turnaround. First, we review your client list. Hopefully, at least once a year, you're reviewing your client list to determine if every client on there is a win-win client. If the price they're paying compensates you for the service that you're providing, or if it doesn't. You should look at other factors as well. Is the client rude? Are they challenging to work with? Are they overly demanding? Once I had a client call up a team member and just yell at that team member for a mistake she made. The client used swear words, really belittled her. The team member even recorded that conversation and later played it for me. And what did I do? This is a long time ago. I called up that client and I apologized that we had not met his expectations. That was stupid. He was being rude to my team member. We should have fired him. I've learned my lesson since then, and we do not tolerate rude clients that yell at our team members. We let them find their happiness elsewhere. Also, with clients, we put together a process with our 10-step turnaround clients to ensure that they only accept win-win clients. When a client calls your office or messages you or sends you an email and they want to become a client of your business, you need to ask them some questions to determine whether or not they're going to be a good fit. Maybe if you're a dentist, you ask them what insurance they're on. Maybe if you're an accounting firm, you ask them if they own a business. These are the types of questions that you need to ask at the beginning of the client relationship to ensure that you accept only win-win clients. Next, we turn our attention to team members. This is one of the most challenging things, isn't it, business owners? If you have a team member that you know should be let go, it's hard because we're nice people and we feel for them and we don't want to let them go and make them look for another job, especially if the economy is not doing very well. Nonetheless, your relationship with every team member needs to be a win-win. One of the ways you determine if your relationship is a win-win with team members is asking yourself this question: would you enthusiastically rehire every member of your team? If the answer is no, who wouldn't you enthusiastically rehire? Maybe that person either needs to be let go or an improvement plan needs to be put in place so they can make improvements by a certain date and you can turn that relationship into a win-win relationship. After that, we talk about vendors. I'm sure you work with a lot of vendors. You have an accountant, you have an attorney, you have software providers, you have IT service providers. Look at those vendors that you work with and ask yourself, are these win-win vendors? Is the price I'm paying appropriate for the value that I receive? A couple years ago at my business, we reviewed our entire vendor list and we looked at the price we were paying, we looked at the value that we were receiving, we looked at the customer service we were getting out of that relationship, and we realized that there were a few vendor relationships that weren't win-wins. So we called around, we got other quotes. What ended up happening, we saved $50,000 a year just by switching 3 vendors, 2 software vendors and 1 payment processing vendor. So there's significant cost savings opportunities by making sure your vendor relationships are win-wins. Finally, we turn our attention to business owners. This is one of the most challenging parts of step 7, but you need to have a win-win relationship with your business partner or business partners. If you don't, you need to sever that relationship if you can't make it a win-win. Those relationships are challenging to break apart, but if 2 business partners don't have a win-win relationship, if they would really be better on their own, then they should break up the partnership and be on their own if they can't find a way to make that relationship a win-win. Listen, so many of the successful business owners I know are successful because of this. They have win-win relationships in their business. Every contract they sign with customers, every team member they hire, they win and the other party wins every time, which is exactly what Stephen R. Covey has taught. I have a friend who makes over $2 million a year in his small business, which is an incredible income for the metropolitan area that he lives in. And one of his secrets over the years is he has eliminated lose-win relationships. In fact, twice over the last several years, he has sold off a division of his company, an entire division of his company, because that service was no longer a win-win. He was losing when he provided that service. If anything in this video has been helpful to you, if you realize you need this in your business, then you need step 7 of the 10-step turnaround, eliminate lose wins.